Hello everybody, welcome back to Beware the Terrible. Today we have a new deck for you called the Spiteful Concoction, featuring our Hatterene from Rebel Clash. So this is a very interesting deck. We have our Hatterene Mindhead ability, and also the main attack we're using is Dripping Grudge. So Dripping Grudge allows you to place 1 damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon for each Pokemon in your discard pile. So that means we need a lot of Pokemons, we need to discard a lot of Pokemons from our deck and our hand to be able to pull off this attack. So we have used this card before with Charizard, Battle Sense, and Orbital with the Evo Mancy. We tried that deck the last time. If you want to check it out, go to our channel and go to the playlist, Pokemon TCG playlist, and just check that Hatterene, that other Hatterene deck. You can filter the Hatterene deck as well. So that Hatterene features, Orbital, Charizard to discard the top cards of our deck so that we get to pile up enough Pokemon cards in our discard pile to do enough damage, 200 plus damage with each Hatterene. So for this deck though, we have our Zoroark, so we have no Hatenas, we have no basic Hatterenes, the basic card of your Hatterene, which is Hatena, just because Hatena actually reduces the amount of cards in your discard pile. Evolving a stage by stage without a rare candy, if you evolve it stage by stage, that means you are having, a lot of Pokemon cards in play. You have 3 Pokemon cards in play as your active and a lot more on your bench. That means you can't actually have enough in your discard pile to do enough damage. So the way we are trying to pull off this attack is by making sure we have a lot of, our Hatremes in our discard pile, a lot of our Zoroark, my bad. If you use your Phantom Transformation, after using this ability, you actually get to discard all attached cards. That means your Zoroark, your basic Zoroark, gets discarded as well. So this basic card is going to end up in your discard pile after using the ability. So that means after using Phantom Transformation, you only have 2 cards in play. You only have your Hatrem and your Hatterene in play. All you need to do after that is evolve. Important thing to note about this ability is that you can't actually evolve after using your Phantom Transformation. Even if you evolve on your last turn, even if you evolve your Zoroark on the last turn, and then on your next turn you transform, you still cannot evolve into a Hatterene. That's the bad thing about transforming. Transformation is essentially putting into play your Hatrem. So if you put this card into play with a transformation, essentially you cannot evolve it on the same turn. Whether it doesn't matter if you evolve Zoroark on your last turn, it doesn't matter if you have passed like 10 turns, if you have done nothing, if you have that Zoroark left on your bench for like 2 or 3 turns and then transform, you still cannot evolve on the same turn. So you need to pass the turn after transforming before you get to evolve to your Hatterene. So that's the bad thing about this transformation. But the good thing is, if you have your Hatrem fast in your discard pile already, you can evolve and immediately transform, and then on your next turn you can evolve to Hatterene. And also you get to shed that basic Pokemon, so you don't need rare candy. We don't need rare candy, which is an added trainer card for this deck. We only have our Scoop Up Net for this deck, 2 Scoop Up Net, 1 Bird Keeper, 4 Research, and 1 Clara. So 1 Clara and 1 Rod to retrieve our Pokemons. And we also have our Eldegoss to retrieve our Clara or even our Research if we need to. And Bird Keeper allows us to retreat so that we get to Scoop Up Net as well, allows us to retreat so that we get to use Talonflame on our first turn. Talonflame has the Fast Flight attack. So Fast Flight allows you to discard your hand and then draw 6 cards. Sorry about the chat. I'm just not going to be responding to the chat too early right now. So I'm going to focus on the deck review first, and then I'll go set up the chat later. So Fast Flight allows you to discard all of your hand, the entire all cards in your hand, the entirety of your hand, and then draw 6 cards afterwards. And then after that, not only that, you get to play a supporter card on the same turn. So if you use a Research, if you use your Chinchino, we have Chinchino as well in this deck. So if you use your Crobat, Golbat, after drawing all of those cards with your Chinchino, Golbat, Crobat, and with your supporter cards, you get to still use your Fast Flight to discard and draw some more. So this is how strong this deck is. It is a super draw engine. It's a super draw engine. We're drawing with abilities, with supporter cards, and also with the attack Fast Flight. So this is a very strong card here. We are playing all of the perfect combos. We're also playing Zoroark to help us shed that extra card, as I said. And also Spiritomb has the same attack as your Hatterene. It is a basic Pokemon. Bad thing about this card is that it's 2 energy attack cost, and you actually are playing a different type of energy with your Hatterene. Hatterene requires a Psychic type energy or a Fairy/Ghost type. whereas your Spiritomb is a darkness slash poison type energy. So the symbol is different. We need two different types of energy. That is why we have our Aurora. We have 4 copies of Aurora energy, and because Hatterene is only 1 energy attack cost, it is more likely for us to use Hatterene. That is why we have more copies. We have only our basic psychic energy. We have no basic darkness energy. So if we get our Spiritomb, and if we intend on using Spiritomb, we have to attach that Aurora energy to satisfy that darkness attack cost. Otherwise, we cannot attack with this card. So it is also, and you also need that extra colorless energy cost. So we have our, capture energy to help with Talonflame. Talonflame is actually colorless energy cost to use your fast flight. So you get to attach anything for your fast flight to, you get to attach anything to your Talonflame to use your fast flight attack. And also, we have 4 Aurora energy for our Spiritomb, as I said. So Spiritomb, you also get to use Splitting Spite. If you want to discard your opponent's deck, you get to discard it as well. You get to discard the top card of your deck as well. Bad thing about this Spiritomb is that it's 2 energy retreat cost. Every other card is only 1 energy retreat cost for this deck, except for your Crobat. Crobat is 0 energy retreat cost. Zoroark, we don't have to worry about this card because you actually get to transform. If it's in your active, obviously retreat with your Zoroark before you evolve, because that's actually better, because Zoroark is 2 energy retreat cost as well. My bad, this is the other card that is 2 energy retreat cost, but the good thing about this one is that you get to transform and then evolve, and then you don't have to worry about retreating it anymore. So that's the good thing. If you transform though, you cannot evolve on the same turn, so that's the added difficulty for this card. But if it shows up at the right time, it can work really well for you. We're playing 4 copies of our Zoroark and Zoroark in this deck because this is the main card we are using to evolve into a Hatterene. This is the main Hatterene evolver. So we also have the Hatterene Summoner. We also have 1 copy of Eldegoss to recycle our supporter cards. 3 of each Chinchino and Minchinos. 4 of each Zubat, Golbat, and Crobat. Sorry, 3 Crobat. 3 Crobat and 4 of each Zubat and Golbat. We also have 2 Spiritomb and 4 of each Hatterene and Hatterene. The reason we have 4 Hatterene, which we don't actually need that much, but maybe 3 is enough, but the reason we have that many is because we actually need to transform into Zoroark, and also we need it to show up early on in our hand so that we get to discard it and transform as early on as possible. We actually need 4, my bad, because we are playing 4 Zoroark. We actually need the exact amount of 4, so it's a no-brainer there. And we also have 4 research in this deck, 2 Scoop Up Net. Scoop Up Net allows us to recycle our ability, and not only that, we also get to increase the amount of Pokemon cards, boost the number in our discard pile by that much more by discarding after scooping it up. Scooping up our Crobat after using the ability, and then discarding those cards, dumping them into the discard pile to do more damage with our Dripping Grudge attack. So this is the main strategy we're using. We're also playing 4 copies of our Talonflame V, Fast Flight, very, very important attack. We need to be using this on our first turn. If we don't have a supporter card in our first turn, then use it already. If we have a research, then wait on your second turn to wait for your second turn, because you actually need to use your research before using your fast flight. Otherwise, you're wasting the supporter card. We don't have a lot of supporter cards to spare, as you can see, because we are relying on abilities and attacks to draw cards. So not a lot of trainer cards, only 9 trainer, 11 energy, and 40 Pokemon cards, because we need a lot of Pokemon cards. We could have a few in our prize card. We have a lot in play, so we need to take that into account. So having a few in the deck is fine, but we can't actually do anything about the Pokemon cards that are in play or the ones that are in our prize card. So if those are a lot, then we can't actually do enough damage. So we need to make sure we don't play that many Pokemon on our bench, and we need to make sure we scoop up our Crobat and discard it after using the ability at the right time. And we need to make sure we draw our prize card strategically so that we get to discard it at the right time, because we get to use Mind Hat. Even if we can't discard any more cards, because research actually forces you to draw cards into your hand. And those ability also, Chinchino, you can't discard cards from your hand without drawing. So if you can't draw anymore, if your deck is down to like 5 or 7 cards left and you cannot use your ability to draw cards, otherwise you're going to run out of turns. So you're going to have to rely on Hatterene to discard your Pokemon cards. You're going to rely on Hatterene to discard the prize Pokemon cards. After drawing the prize card, if they are Pokemons, you need to use Mind Hat to discard them. You cannot use ability anymore, because that is, way too late in the game. You cannot use your supporter cards even. So that is the main stumbling block for this deck, is that you cannot use your fast flight, make do, or research at the very, very late stage of the game if you have if you end up with a lot of cards, a lot of Pokemon cards in your hand, you're gonna have to discard them one by one with your Mind Hat. That is the bad thing about this deck. But you know, hopefully that is not the case. Hopefully we are able to discard them, you know, fast enough and draw the right cards at the right time. This is a very risky deck, but it is a very fun deck. If you are lucky enough, you can actually do a lot with this deck and you can win big. It's very satisfying. It's a very satisfying win if you can win with this deck. So let's go ahead for a gameplay with our I can't remember the name now. Where is it? Dang it. Let me just filter it. This is Psychic type. So, Dazzling Armor. So it's called Spiteful Concoction. It's a dark, actually. Dark box. But we're playing Hatterene, Psychic type, Psychic Fairy. So I'm gonna sort out my chat right now. I'm just gonna like copy paste the chat box real quick. So we got a Talonflame, that's great. Okay, got a Talonflame. I'm just gonna go to my Gmail real quick. I should really be doing this before the video starts, but I forgot. Sorry about that, guys. So we got a Bird Keeper to start with, which is not good. Oh my goodness, I think this is expanded. Oopsie. Sorry guys, the first game was expanded. I forgot to switch back to standard format. This is a standard format deck. A standard deck. So let's go again. Darkness. Spiteful Concoction S. Spite. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. All of a sudden, a tag team just shows up out of nowhere. Yeah. Okay, got my chat ready. So we have to go second. Should we go second? I think we have to go first because we are evolving our Pokemons. We're evolving Zubats. So if we get Golbat at the on our second turn, we get to evolve already. So going first is actually better. Even though we get to use Fast Light on our first turn, it's very likely that if we get Talonflame, it's very likely that you're gonna draw your support cards at the same time as your Talonflame. I'm not sure why, but it always turns up that way. So we're not gonna attach energy. We don't need to worry too much about energy because we are playing 5 basic energy cards for a lot of special energies. 2 Capture and 4 Aurora energy for Spiritomb. The basic energy allows us to recycle it with Clara and a Rod. Ordinary Rod. So they are playing a really scary deck. We should have evolved the bench actually. That was stupid. Oh well, looks like we can do double before using the research. Let's hope we don't draw. If we draw energy cards again, I'm gonna be pissed. So it's still deactive. Oh well. Okay, that's good. So I don't think we need to put Zoroark. Oh well, let's just put it. Yeah, we have to put it. We have no choice but to put it. So you can't attach energy to your Zoroark before the transformation because you have to discard all cards, all attached cards when you know, we have a Chinchino, so all we need is to evolve Zoroark to get Chinchino. So Zoroark you get to transform into a Chinchino as well, but we actually need to transform into Hatterene because we don't have enough space. Not enough Zoroark for that, but so we need Clara now. We need Clara to retrieve Zoroark. That's the bad thing, we're discarding the wrong cards. We need to be discarding Crobat, Chinchino, Minchino, Hatterene especially. If we have no choice but to discard Hatterene, Then we have to retrieve it later, so that's the bad thing. But we actually get to use Chinchino right now if they don't Marnie us. Okay, we got a Zoroark. We actually know we should use it though. We definitely should use it. Um, let's hope we draw the right cards. This is a very, very risky deck. If you draw the wrong cards, you're gonna end up discarding the cards that you need. So this is very scary. We need to use Clara. Yeah, we have to use Clara though. We can use one for Chinchino. So yeah, let's... Thanks, you have a good deck as well. So we have to use Clara. So we'll use one for Chinchino and then Hatterene later. Because we actually need to attach energy. Yeah, we need way too many things. So we're gonna retrieve those two. Retrieve our energy card. Come on. Okay, we're gonna attach our Aurora energy to Chinchino. Because we actually can't use research yet. Unless we get a Spirit Tomb the next turn. So that's gonna be a Chinchino. And then we have to discard Hatterene. And then transform into Hatterene. Oh, we can actually attach right now. Because we get to use Make Do. Hey Becca. How's it going, Becca? Long time no see. So, we get to attach energy right now. We get to use Talonflame. That's so cool. We can't though, because we have all the right cards we need later on. So we're just gonna keep our hand, put the Talonflame right now. So hope they knock out the Golbat. Sorry, if they knock out our Crobat, we don't need to scoop it up and discard it. So, but they are drawing one prize card, so let's hope they don't use a boss order. They can't knock this one out because it's resistant to fighting type. Sanaconda VMAX doesn't even do enough unless they use a Leon out of nowhere. Leon and Choice Band. Vitality Band. So should we use Hatterene already? I'm thinking we should. Let's just do one Hatterene. Our first Hatterene. Okay, we got a Bird Keeper as well. Oh, we should have used Talonflame. Ah, that was stupid. What was I thinking? We got a Bird Keeper though. Yeah, we got a Bird Keeper. We need to use Research though. Oh my goodness. This is a disaster. This is such a disaster. I made a big mistake, a huge mistake. Yeah, I should have used Talonflame. That was really stupid. Yeah, this deck is really tricky. Really, really tricky. You need to discard a lot. We have very few cards. Only like less than 10, I'm pretty sure. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Exactly 10. So we're only doing 100 damage with Dripping Grudge. So I'm just gonna Bird Keeper. I'm just gonna Bird Keeper and then save that one. So we're putting this one. And then Mine Hat. So we are researching, we're using Research the next turn if we get to Talonflame. If they don't use a Marnie, we get to Research Talonflame. So Hatterene. Hatterene is the most dispensable, the disposable card, the most dispensable card in this deck. Because we actually need to discard it. Otherwise, we can't use Phantom Transformation Zoroark. Some idiot ran over someone. W.H. Smith. What is that? I'm not really familiar with that. So let's just use you've been on holiday. How was the holiday? Was it fun, fulfilling? I'm sure it is. Where did you go? So let's use this one first. And then research. I don't think we're gonna go bad anymore. We're down to very few cards in the deck. So, oh shit, I attached to Spiritomb. I forgot to use Talonflame again. Ah, jeez. Dang it. I forgot to use Talonflame again. How much are we doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 190, 10, 11. So close. 10, 11. Dang it. We need horror energy. We need horror energy. Yeah, we need horror energy. What was I thinking? So let's just tank damage with our Talonflame. That was really idiotic. I attached to Spiritomb. I forgot, I got overexcited with that Aurora energy. And I just attached the Spiritomb. That was really, really stupid. Oh well. Oh, it's a bookstore. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the US. I'm not from the US, so but yeah, it sounds pretty familiar. I should probably be, I should probably know that the name of that place, but I don't know. So here comes a Leon. Let's hope they don't knock us out. Okay. Resistance, thank God. I don't think they can knock us out without the resistance even. So free retreat cost means we can't actually use too much Chinchino. We're down to very few cards in the deck, so we have to be careful. 7 cards left. That means 7 turns. If they use a Marnie, we are, worse off if they use a Marnie. So we can't actually discard too many cards from our hand, but we are drawing prize slowly, bit by bit. So we have to discard Chinchino, Minchino because those two are useless now. We don't actually need that many Chinchino because later on you're gonna need to scoop it back up and discard them. Chinchino is actually better than Crobat because you get to do it every turn. Crobat is only... But if you scoop it up though, you get to discard 3 cards with your research. Whereas if you scoop up your Chinchino, you're only discarding 2 cards. Same with your Manectric. Manectric has the ability that lets you draw 3 cards as you evolve it. It's a stage 1. Hatterene is so cool though. Fort William. I have no idea where that is. Okay, let's search our deck, see what we have. Since we're attaching special energy, should we just... Oh, we have another Aurora. Should we get our Spiritomb? 6 turns. So we don't actually need that many turns because we are knocking out a V card. Let's hope they don't use a Marnie. If they use a Marnie, let's just hope they don't use a Marnie. Because we actually have to be really careful. Let's not use the Spiritomb. I'm really scared of Spiritomb just because Fan of Waves, you never know, Fan of Waves. So Horror Energy is actually not good as well because Fan of Waves. One word, Fan of Waves. Eldegoss. Bad thing about Clara is that you don't shuffle it. Nessa Clara doesn't let you shuffle anymore. There is no more supporter cards that let you shuffle Pokemon energy cards back into your deck. Those cards are obsolete. Energy Recycler, Ordinary Rod is the only cards that allow you to do that. Sacred Ash for expanded. And we also have... Should we use a Spiritomb now? Let's just do it. I'm really scared if they... we can't retreat. If they use a double Fan of Waves, we can't retreat. That's the bad thing about Spiritomb. So we're gonna prepare the next one just in case they boss out of that one. So Mine Hat, I don't think we need to. Yeah, there's no VMAX for a Rhyperior, so we are good to, yeah, like, we're secured now. We're totally secured unless they do some crazy shit all of a sudden. Even if they boss order, we're still good to go. They just need Crushing Hammer. If they use like triple Crushing Hammer heads, then I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be super pissed. So, Escape Rope, Blissey. We can't give them a Talonflame, obviously. We can't tank any more damage with that one. They're actually not knocking it out. 40 damage only. Blissey is so cool though. Blissey is like so cool. You could use it with anything. You could use it with anything. Well, obviously you have to be smart enough to discard your energies. So you need like the right supporter cards and the right Pokemon, but really you could use it with anything. It's weak towards fighting type, so Rapid Strike Urshifu, one hit of Gale Thrust is enough to knock it out. One Gale Thrust, one energy, one Rapid Strike Urshifu, one hit. But on the next expansion, I'm talking too much. Let's just focus on the game first. We actually won already, but let's just do everything we can to discard as many as we can. It's actually 250 HP, so let's just discard as many as possible. We actually get to use research as well. So I'm gonna... Yeah, we should have used Mind Hat after using research. Oh well. So, Chinchino for 2 cards, research with Eldegoss. Yeah, let's see how many we can do. I'm pretty sure we can do 290 damage at least. We get to scoop up something as well. Oh, that's great. That's so lovely. That's so delicious. Scoop up net showing up late in the game is so delicious. So we're scooping up Hatterene just because it's 3 cards and we actually don't need to, you know, we don't need to attack anymore. That's the last thing we need to do. This is our last turn. So Dripping Grudge, let's see how much we're doing. 330 damage! Oh my gosh, that's so delicious. Oh, that's delicious. Yums. 330 damage with Dripping Grudge. 33 damage counters. Raihan would work really well with Spiritomb, but Raihan doesn't help you discard though. Raihan is a supporter card, it doesn't help you discard. It doesn't draw cards from your deck. Research is the most powerful supporter card. Especially for your Dripping Grudge, it does the most. It helps you the most. So, as I said, you need to be super lucky with this deck. It's a very, not super lucky, but relatively lucky. If you have the right card showing up early on in the game, and then the right card showing up at the late stage of the game, then it's gonna help you a lot. Otherwise, you can't actually win at all. So they can actually knock us out right now. Oh my gosh, I should have attached to the bench to prepare for that knockout. But if they don't though, if they don't get a twin and enough energy cards, I don't know what they are playing. Avalanche. Okay, no twin energy, thank God for that. We're gonna use a research, we can't do anything but a research. So Talonflame. Let's hope we get an energy. We're gonna evolve the bench. Come on, energy card. Another Golbat at least. Okay, we got an energy, that's great. Lovely. But we should be using Fast Flight on the next turn because we got Eldegoss for research. Let's see how many research we have in the deck. If we have 3 research, okay, we have 3 research. We don't need to be bothered about Eldegoss because we get to do it right now. We need to be doing it now. So should we put another Zubat, I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. So we actually get to recycle that energy card. Zoroark. Let's just put Zoroark as well. I don't think they're playing that high HP, so we don't need to be bothered about piling too many Pokemons. So make sure you look at everything. Look at all the criteria. If they're not playing any, I don't think we need to use Eldegoss. We can't use Eldegoss. If they're not playing any V cards, V maxes, then you don't actually need to worry about, you know, having too many Pokemon cards in your discard pile. You get to use your Rod and your Clara freely, more freely than, you know, than when you're up against a VMAX deck. If they're attacking with a fast VMAX like Dragapult or a Eternatus VMAX, Eternatus is the fastest VMAX, so if they attack with those cards, then you can't actually use Clara or your Rod that freely. You need to be counting the exact number and calculating the turns, like, okay, when am I knocking this card out? We don't have boss order in this deck, so it's very important to know that if they retreat their Eternatus onto the bench, you can't knock out an Eternatus VMAX with one hit. So if they use another VMAX to attack, we can't actually avoid that strategy. If they use that strategy, we can't avoid that tactic. So we have a Hatterene, that's great. I think we're gonna use a, I don't know if we want to get a Chinchino or a Hatterene. We have two Hatterene. We can't use Fast Light right now. So since we can't use Fast Light, oh my gosh, I'm so torn. Let's just do that. So Clara, should we use a Clara? Clara for Eldegoss. We can actually get Eldegoss with Clara, that's cool. We cannot discard too many Hatterenes. We gotta research. So no need for Clara anymore. We have a Rod. Okay, we discarded the Rod. We can't actually afford to discard anything. So we're gonna keep the energy. Let's hope we get a Spiritomb the next turn. If we get a Spiritomb, we can attach that colorless to Spiritomb for Dripping Grudge. Nine, I think we can knock out Barraskewda the next turn. 10, 11, mine had 12. Okay, it's not a Barraskewda. Okay, we are up against very beginner decks, so I'm kind of happy because this deck is actually not that strong against the meta. It's just a very fun deck to play, just because you are experimenting with, you know, a stage 2 and Crobat and the new Evolving Skies Zoroark with the old Rebel Clash card. So we're putting this one, and let's just attack right now. Yeah, we don't need that many because it's only 60 HP. So we don't need to use Fast Light really. We just need to conserve our energy cards because we have no more Clara, no more Rod in the deck. So we need to be conserving energies. No more energy discards, please. Two Aurora energy. Spiritomb only needs one. So we need a Zoroark to get another Hatterene. Hatterene and then Hatterene later. So we got no research, no Eldegoss, no Birdkeeper. I think we used the Birdkeeper. I don't know. We didn't use the Birdkeeper. Okay, yep, we won the game because they have nothing but a Smeargle in play. So let's just do everything we can. Discard Talonflame. And Dripping Grudge for 150, I think. Yep. 15 damage counters. So if they play a big Parasol or if they have like, you know, full cards, special energy, wash energy as well. If they play wash energy, big parasol, you can't actually place damage counters on them. So Hatterene is completely disabled. You cannot attack with Hatterene if they play those cards. Big parasol and wash energy. Wash energy is the most dangerous one because they can play wash energy with Ice Rider, they can play it with Vaporeon, they can play it with any water VMAX, and water types are super popular, and so, you know, wash energy is very dangerous. That's probably the only the only cards this deck is allergic to. Growlithe and Trevenant. I wonder what Trevenant that is. Flareon. Okay, it's a really random deck here. It's a random deck. Random build. Oh my gosh. It's so random. They got a Talonflame for no reason. So we can't evolve right now, but we can actually save our Zubat. We should have just put it at the bench spot. Let's just attach this one, because we get to draw with Zubat later. Discreet draw, and then drastic draw, and then scoop up that. Odor Sleuth. Put an item card into your hand. I think it's an item only. Oh, put a card from your discard pile into your hand, but you need to flip a coin. So you need to flip a coin for that. Let's just draw first before using that Aurora energy, because we don't want to be discarding the things that we need. Okay, we are discarding Golbat, obviously. And we get to retreat with Crobat, because Crobat has 0 retreat cost unless they use a Galar Mine out of nowhere. So I'm pretty sure they have a VMAX, but they're not getting it out. Okay, they're playing really weird combos. Yeah, in expanded, this deck will definitely work much better in expanded format. Standard, this deck is just if you're up against the meta format, this deck has no chance. It doesn't really have a high chance of winning, but it's possible. If you're lucky enough, it's possible to win against a meta deck. But it's much easier for your expanded format, as you said, because expanded is, you have more options, more cards, and more supporter, more, you know, trainer cards to help you discard, and more abilities as well. So we're gonna use Talonflame now. We're gonna save our Zoroark for Hatterene or Chinchino. Let's just put this one. So we get to scoop it up. We don't even need to switch. Should we do that? Yep. Because we need to evolve the next turn already. We only have 2 scoop up net in this deck, so if you don't, it's always best only to like put 2 Crobats. Only 2 Zubat is enough, because you don't want to have too many Pokemon cards in your battlefield, because if you do that, we only have 1 Golbat left though. Oh well. If you put too many Zubats, then you're gonna evolve too many times. Then you're gonna end up having too many Pokemon cards in play. That means you're doing very less damage with your Dripping Grudge. So Hatterene is finally in the discard pile. Yep. We shouldn't have put the Minchino. I forgot that we are using Fast Light to discard that one. But we do have two more Chinchinos in the deck. So finally they got a Flareon. They had it. They had it, but they just didn't search for it. That was odd. They used an Evolution Incense for Talonflame, for Fletchling and Talonflame. So as you can see, we evolved Zoroark on the last turn. We're transforming right now, so essentially, by logic, we should be able to evolve to Hatterene, right? But no, because you're putting this card into play this turn. By transforming, you're actually putting into play this turn. That means you cannot evolve until your next turn. So this is how confining that ability is. But the only reason this ability is good, the reason I like this ability is that you're discarding all attached cards. That means you're adding that one Zoroark. You're adding your Zoroark into the discard pile. Your Zoroark ends up in the discard pile. You're only having two, is essentially a stage 1. So your Hatterene is essentially a stage 1 energy attacker, as opposed to your Spiritomb, which is, you know, you need more energy for your Spiritomb. So I think we're using Spiritomb, because we don't want to be discarding Hatterene. Don't need to attach that one. So let's just get another Zoroark or a Spiritomb. Let's get a Spiritomb. And Dripping Grudge right now. I suppose that's all we can do. Pretty sure we can knock it out. Like, okay, yeah, thank God. Like, it would be pretty embarrassing if we can't knock it out. 110 damage, that's good. Okay, we got one Hatterene in the discard pile. Discarding one, we got two Spiritomb. We have to rely on Spiritomb now. No more Hatterene because we're discarding way too many. If they knock us out, we have to use Talonflame. If they don't, then we get to use a double Spiritomb. Okay, Forest Feast, that's great. Okay, this is like a fairly beginner's deck. Thank God for that, because we're actually not that it's not that equipped against a meta deck. Okay, we got a Chinchino as well, but bad thing is we have way too many cards in play already. We have a lot of cards in play, and we only have that one last Scoop Up Net, so we shouldn't have put that Zubat just because we have one last Golbat. One last Golbat in the deck or in the prize card. It could even be in the prize card. So we're discarding Hatterene because we need to. We have no more Hatterene in the deck, so if we evolve a Zoroark, we need Hatterene. So those are our last two Zoroarks. So we can't actually use Research Fast Flight unless 3 is enough. If 3 is enough, then 3 attackers is enough, then we may actually use the Fast Flight. I don't think we should do that though. So we're just gonna discard Hatterene with this one. We can actually use Chinchino. Oh, we used it already. So Dripping Grudge. I don't think we're doing enough. Definitely not. So 14 damage counters. It's okay. We're doing more and more, and it's only 2 energy for 14. That's quite good actually. We're not knocking out the VMAX with 1 hit, but if we knock out the Rillaboom, all we need to do is strike it twice to win the game. So 3 more hits is enough to win the game if they don't retreat. Okay, they didn't retreat, that's great. We have a Rod. Oh my gosh, we have a Rod. That's a really good news. That's perfect. So we get to discard stuff now. We should actually use a Rod for Golbat. Okay, we got a Research and a Rod. That's perfect. So we have to Rod 1 Zoroark and 1 Hatterene, I suppose. Let's do it right now. Oh, we can't actually. Dang it. I should have discarded. Dang it. I should have used Mind Head to discard energy and then recycle the energy. That was really stupid. Oh well. So make sure you discard before using your Rod. because otherwise you can't actually, yeah, you're gonna screw yourself over otherwise. So we're gonna use a research. We have one more Clara. Okay, we got a lot of energy cards left. That's good. Oh, they just let us win. Okay, they just let us win because we're doing 200 damage already. So all we need is 2 more strikes, and you know, we got 3 attackers. So Flareon is only attacking 1 Pokemon at a time. They are not doing bench snipes. So we have a Hatterene and another Spiritomb on our bench for the double strike. They need to retreat and attack with something else if they want to survive. So we got Zubat, Golbat, Crobat. That's great. Let's hope we go first. I'm not sure who goes first, but let's hope we go first. Okay, we go first. That's great. Get to evolve on our second turn. But they can attack on their first turn though. Oh well. Okay, we got 2 Zubat. That's great. Should we attach energy cards though? Yeah, let's do it. Because we need to retreat, right? Golbat, it's not free retreat. Only your Crobat is free retreat. So I think it's a proper deck now. It's a proper meta deck now. It's a Bolton, Flaffy, Rayquaza. It could be anything really, or maybe just a Bolton. Nothing but a Bolton, Flaffy. Quite interesting. I don't think it's enough though if you're playing only Bolton and Flaffy, because Flaffy only attach that extra 1 energy, but it does it every turn though. So if your opponent is not fast enough in knocking out your Pokemon, then you can actually do a lot with your Flaffy. So we got a capture, but we need Talonflame. Capture is not going to do anything. Dang it. What are we gonna do? Okay, let's just attack now. And then Rod later. Capture a Talonflame. We need to capture an attacker though. Yeah, let's just do Talonflame, whatever. We have no basic Pokemon. We have no basic attackers. That's really bad. No Zoroark, no Spiritomb. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna win this one. They are like a proper deck. Too fast. And we are too slow. We got no Zoroark. Nothing to attack with. Oh my god. It's weak towards lightning type. It's knocked out with 1 hit. Dang it. Yeah, they are lucky because we are weak towards lightning type. And they got boss order at the right time. So we get to use a double Crobat though. We should have scooped out the other one, my bad. Oh well. So we're gonna go Crobat again. Let's hope we don't draw another research. If we draw another research, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be quite mad. Okay, thank god. We drew too many. We got no basic still. So we're gonna shuffle back our energy. Shuffle back 2 basic energy. And research, I suppose. So we're gonna put our Zubat as the scapegoat. Research, and let's hope we get a Talonflame with our research. And a few basic Pokemon as well. We need Zoroark, we need Spiritomb. Okay, we got it. Okay, we need to attach the Spiritomb. Got 2 Spiritomb, a Chinchino. Thanks, you got a good deck as well. But we're not winning this one. I don't see us winning this. But they are a V card though. They are a V card, so we don't actually need that many. Yeah, we don't actually need that many. That's good news. So we're doing 12, 120, 130. We need 2 more discards. All we need is 2 more discards. Oh my gosh, another boss order. Are you kidding me? Another boss order? That's unreal. Oh my god. That's unreal, man. So we're gonna save our Chinchino. We got a Crow. We actually got a Crobat. Okay, we're gonna discard Hatterene. And we're gonna Bird Keeper to Crobat. Okay, we actually got Talonflame now. But we're not gonna put that because it's weak towards lightning. We're just gonna screw ourselves. So I suppose that's all we can do. How many do we have? 140. 160. We can knock this one out, but the next one is gonna be more difficult. 160 damage. They're definitely gonna retreat. Yeah, if they retreat to that one, we can't actually knock it out. Because we're only doing 160. We have a Chinchino though. Okay, at least they give us a knockout. 1 knockout at least. We need Hatterene. We need Zoroark Hatterene right now. Like right this second. There's no chance we're winning this, but okay, we got a Zoroark. That's great. But at least we have to like power through and knock out 2 Bolton. At least knock out 2 Bolton, right? I mean, Hatterene is a lot of HP as well, so if they don't get Fluffy in time, I think Hatterene can survive a hit. So we are using Phantom Transformation right now into a Hatterene. Let's check how many Hatterene we have. Okay, 2 more Hatterene in the deck or in the prize card. Could even be in the prize card. So research. Okay, we got a Hatterene for the next turn. Let's see how many Zoroark we have. 2 more Zoroark in the deck. 1 more Zoroark in the deck. Okay, may actually be wiser not to play that Zoroark anymore. Let's just put 1. Do we have a Clara in the discard pile? No Clara. We can't actually use Eldegoss. Oh well. Okay, let's use Dripping Grudge. There's no chance we're winning this game because they got 2 prize cards left. There's no chance we're winning, but at least we get to knock out 2 Bolton. We're doing 200 damage already. And with that research and Chinchino, we get to discard a few more. Hatterene as well. Chinchino, Hatterene, and a knockout is already equal to 230 damage. 23 damage counters knocking out this one, but they are getting Fluffy already. This turn 4 energy, next turn 6 energy, plus another one from their hand is going to be 8 energy for 250 damage Bolton. So that's the power of the Fluffy. But you still need a lot of energy cards though. Yeah, they can't actually attach that many because they don't have enough. They just use a Marnie on us. Are you kidding? They used the Marnie on us. We got 1 last Hatterene in the deck. Let's hope we get a research. Okay, we got no research. This is real bad. We need to shuffle the deck. So shuffling the deck is going to help us. But we actually can't shuffle the deck. Oh my god. We can't do anything. This is our final hit. This is our last straw. Okay, we can shuffle the deck. Thank God for the Stormy Mountain. Okay, we have to We have to draw a Hatterene. If we don't get a Hatterene, we are done for. We have 2 more Hatterene in the deck. Okay, thank God. At least we got one. Oh, thank God. And we got to discard another. That's great. And another one. Did we discard a Zoroark? I don't know what we discard. Okay, we didn't discard Zoroark. Chinchino. And now Dripping Grudge. 24 if I'm not mistaken. Yep, 24 damage counters. Phew. Okay, now they just need like 2 more energies. I think they can actually use Flaffy now. Oh no, they're using Flaffy. 250 damage. We can't survive 250 damage. That was close though. We got 1 more turn. If they pass the turn, on our next turn we get to knock out the Bolton. So it was quite close. That was quite close. So let's go for another one with I can't remember the name of this deck. I keep forgetting the name. What's the name? What's the name? I really can't remember. I totally forgot about the name. So let's do Zoroark. Zubat. I always put Zubat. I always end up putting Zubat. Oh well. Because we need Chinchino, right? Chinchino helps us draw every turn, whereas Zubat is only like a one-off thing. So we don't need to discard that many. All we need is 15 Pokemon cards in our discard pile to knock out a Stage 2 Pokemon. Unless they play a Empoleon V out of nowhere or a Zeraora. They could play a Zeraora out of nowhere as well. Lightning, Rapid Strike card. Any other Rapid Strike Pokemons. V card. So we have to use a research. That's just... We actually need to evolve Chinchino though. We need to retreat, right? So let's just do that one. Spiritomb showed up at the wrong time. Dang it, we should have just waited a little longer. We got no Talonflame. That's really bad. We should have just waited. Yeah, we should have waited 1 turn, because 1 turn we could have just evolved into Chinchino and that could have helped us. But wasting 1 turn could spell our entire defeat, so I don't quite like wasting a turn. I wonder what they're playing. Okay. Jumping kick, 30 damage to one of opponent's Pokemon. Oh, it's... Why is it 50? Oh, Hit Bolt. I thought it's flying type. It's not a flying type, it's a poison type. I think we're gonna sacrifice Spiritomb. Yeah, because we have no more Aurora energy, so might as well just sacrifice Spiritomb. We got a Hatterene, but I think we need Chinchino. This is horrible. This is so bad. So we're gonna get a Chinchino. No Golbat. Oh well. Oh my goodness, this is so annoying. Okay, we need Talonflame. Let's see if we have Aurora Energy. Do we have any more? Okay, one more Aurora Energy for Spiritomb. Okay, we're gonna scoop up this one. We actually can't do that though. Yeah, let's just do that one. Whatever. That was quite silly because we actually have more Chinchino in our deck. Yeah, that was quite silly. Yeah, I forgot. Oh my gosh. We shouldn't be saving this card because we have no more Aurora Energy. No more Aurora. Dang it. If they evolve, we're done for. But they're definitely gonna evolve this turn, like, definitely. Pokeball. Another Pokeball. Another Tails. $50 damage. Clara for Zoroark. So let's just discard something. Let's discard Spiritomb. We actually have one more Aurora though in the price card, but I don't think we're gonna get it right anytime soon. So let's evolve this one. Discard Hatterene. Research right now, or use a Clara. I think we should use a Clara. It's much easier to get a Clara because we only have. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. Let's do it. Okay, we get these two. Let's get these two, right? Zubat. Should we get a Zubat? Okay, let's get a Zubat. So that's gonna help us the next turn. We don't actually have energy cards, so we should attach to Talonflame. So if you're not playing Yamper, you actually need Yamper if you're playing Pokeball Great Ball. Ball Search. I'm pretty sure they have a Yamper, they just didn't get it yet. Quick Ball though, Quick Ball is very easy. They're playing with so many coin flippers. Crushing Hammer is gonna destroy us. Because we just used our Clara. We need Eldegoss to get back the Clara. We need Ordinary Rod to recycle our basic energy if they discard it. Okay, no more Chinchino, that's okay. We got 2 in the discard pile though. That's the good thing. This is free retreat, so we can actually retreat if we want to avoid that double price knockout, because they're drawing 2 price if they knock out our Talonflame. So I think we should do it now. I think we're gonna get a Hatterene. Finally getting a Hatterene. We should have discarded Hatterene and then, you know, recycle Hatterene with a Rod. That was quite silly. So we're gonna put another Zoroark and then discard everything. I'm pretty sure we have another Zoroark in the deck. Okay, we got 2 more. Thanks to... We can't actually use Fast Flight. Yeah, we can't use Fast Flight because we have too many Hatterenes in our hand. That is a bit sad. We're we're gonna attach to this one. They have Crushing Hammer, so it may be wiser to attach later, but they could just use a Marnie. It's a bit sad that we couldn't use a Fast Light because too many Hatterenes in our hand, no more Rod. We do have one more Eldegoss though, Eldegoss for Clara, but you never know if that Eldegoss is in your price card. I forgot to check just now. It's always healthy to check what you have in your deck. The first time you search with your capture or your item cards, I think the only way we can search with this deck is with a capture. Yeah, is with a capture. That's the only way we can search. All the other ability, we are drawing cards from the top deck with our supporter, with our ability. We are not shuffling the deck with any other card. We're not searching. So we get to evolve into Crobat. So we still can't use Talonflame because we need Zoroark, we need Hatterene. Okay, we got Zoroark. I think we have a Hatterene, another Hatterene. Okay, we got it. That's great. Pretty sure we can knock it out right now. There's a bit of a lag, I'm not sure why. So we're gonna attach to this one. Let's just do the Spiritomb first, so that we get to discard something. And then we shouldn't use a research because we have to evolve the next turn first before using the research. Mine had discard Hatterene. Yeah, sometimes you're stuck with cards, the wrong cards in your hand. It's like a total bind that you cannot use your Fast Flight, you cannot use your research, which is a total bummer because we need to be using those attacks. We need to be using those to be able to, you know, collect enough Pokemons in the discard pile to evolve fast enough and to do stuff. But you know, we're evolving stage by stage, so I suppose that's why we couldn't do it. No rare candy. That's a bad thing about no rare candy. If we only play a Spiritomb, that's an interesting idea though. Spiritomb and Rescue Carrier. Spiritomb Raihan, that would be pretty interesting. They got all tails, that's quite sad. They got a lot of tails. I've never seen someone getting so many tails. Yeah, I don't know why the company is always making beginners lose. If you start out playing this game, it's really difficult to win. I'm pretty sure they want people to buy cards. They want people to buy, you know, spend money on them, I suppose. So that's why they give them the worst luck. You know, not only do you have to deal with having poor cards with terrible abilities and attacks, trying to make them work, you know, you don't have the right cards in your collection to build a strong deck. Not only that, they're giving you the worst luck ever by giving you tails with your Pokeball, with your Crushing Hammer, Pokemon Catcher, and you know, things like that. You can't actually use Glimwood Tangle for those effects because they're not effects of attacks, they are trainer cards. Glimwood Tangle doesn't work for trainer cards. So we get to scoop it up and discard it later. We can't use research anymore because we don't have enough cards in our deck. So we're gonna save that energy just because they can use a Crushing Hammer anytime. And if they use a Crushing Hammer on our active, then we can't actually attack anymore. So we have to save that energy. We cannot attach right now. If they boss order later, we can attack with, we can attach and attack with Chinchino, and then reattach with Chinchino as well. Mindhead, not only do you get to discard, not only do you get to do extra damage by discarding Pokemon cards from your hand, you're also doing, you're also disrupting your opponent's hand. You know, discarding, forcing them to discard from their hand of their own choice, which is even worse if you ask me, because they have to decide which card to discard. If it's a random card, then they don't have to decide. They don't have to feel bad about discarding the wrong cards later on. You never know which card is the right card to discard, because you never know what card is going to show up at the top of your deck, what you're going to draw. Everything is based on luck, guys. Everything is a coin flip. Every game that you play is a coin flip. Okay, they finally got a heads. One heads and one tails. That's horrible. They finally got a heads. I'm happy for them. Okay, they got a stage 2 already. I mean, finally got a stage 2, my bad. Because it's really, really late, actually. Four price card for both players. So we're gonna discard that last one from their hand. Bye-bye, whatever it is. Okay, Elixio. Since we have enough energy card to spare, we're gonna attach that one. And Dripping Grudge. We shouldn't discard too many from our hand because they could use a Marnie anytime. If they use a Marnie and if you don't have enough cards in your hand plus deck, if you have a total of 4 cards in your hand and your deck, then Marnie is gonna kill you, because on your next turn you have 0 cards in your deck and you actually lose the game that way. You deck yourself out. So Marnie can actually be their final, final gambit. Okay, we won the game thanks to Hatterene. We're gonna use a research here. Finally get to use a research. We're gonna use Spiritomb actually. We're gonna use Spiritomb. So we're gonna use Chinchino. We're gonna few that was close. You have a good deck. So we're gonna discard everything. Yes. And then retreat to that one. You need to use Spiritomb just because it's more fun to use a Spiritomb. Got 0 cards in the deck, but all we need is to knock out the active because they have no more Pokemon on their bench. So we don't need to draw all of our prize cards. 31 damage counters. Wow, that is a lot. 310 damage from 16, I think. On our last turn, I think it's 20 something damage counter, and now 31 damage counter. So I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end the video right here because we are past the 1 hour mark. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. It features our Hatterene. I forgot what the name of the deck is. So Spiteful Concoction. Okay, Spiteful Concoction featuring our Hatterene's Dripping Grudge attack, doing 1 damage counter for each Pokemon in your discard pile to your opponent's active Pokemon. Only 1 energy, only 1 psychic energy cost for this stage 2 attacker. So if you want to play a basic attacker, the same attack, you need to use your Spiritomb for that darkness and colorless energy. It's 2 energy attack cost, and you need to play your Aurora energy for that darkness. So the reason we don't have basic dark energy is because we actually don't. We are actually relying more on our Hatterene. We have 4 copies of Hatterene and only 2 Spiritomb. So our main attacker is actually Hatterene. Just because it's more easy to attack, we only need to attach 1 energy from our hand and we are good to go. We don't need a Raihan. We don't need to use Raihan, BD, Turbo Patch. We don't need to worry about them using a Crushing Hammer. If they use a Crushing Hammer on our Hatterene, we get to just research and draw out another energy and attach freely another energy from our hand, and we are good to go to attack. We don't need to worry about Crushing Hammers. Whereas with your Spiritomb, you need to worry about getting an Galarian Moltres energy switch for that extra 1 energy, or even Raihan or something like that. So we are not playing Raihan just because we need Research. Research is the main card for this deck because you can't afford to have any other support cards other than this card. This card is the stellar card for this deck because you need to discard as many cards from your hand. Not only that, you need to draw as many cards into your hand, draw from your deck so that you get to bring out as many Pokemon cards and then discard them, dump them with your Fast Flight and also with your ability. So ability, Discreet Draw, Drastic Draw allows you to draw more cards, and ability Chinchino allows you to discard 1 card from your hand and draw even more cards from your deck. And also Fast Light Attack, you get to discard your entire hand after using those ability to draw cards, and then draw an additional 6 cards into your hand, a fresh new hand. And then later on, you just need to use your Clara and your Rod to put back your Hatterenes into the retrieve your Hatterene into your hand, or put it into your deck, shuffle it back into your deck. And then retrieve energy cards as well, because Clara allows you to do both, same as your ordinary Rod. So energy and your Pokemon, we only have 2 copies of this card though. We have 1 Clara, 1 Rod, only 2 to spare, so not a lot, but we have that 1 Eldegoss just in case, we dump them way too early. If they show up too early in the game, and if we have to discard them, if we have no choice but to use the research to discard our Clara or our ordinary Rod, then we at least have that 1 Eldegoss to save us later on, to recycle our Clara at the right time, because Clara actually helps you get back your Eldegoss, helps you retrieve Clara, which helps you retrieve your Hatterene, which allows you to evolve your Zoroark. Zoroark is our main attacker, is our main is our main Pokemon. So the main Pokemon the main combo for this deck is Hatterene Zoroark, because we actually have no Hatena in this deck. No Hatena means the what do you call it? The evolution path that we are taking is Zoroark, because Zoroark allows us to evolve, shed all attached cards from that Zoroark as you use the Phantom Transformation. Phantom Transformation allows you to search your discard pile for any stage 1 Pokemon, replace Zoroark with that card, and then discard all attached cards. That means you are discarding Zoroark. The basic Zoroark gets dumped into your discard pile. You actually get that extra 1 Pokemon card in your discard pile. Extra 1 damage counter is not a lot, but it actually makes a lot of difference. It makes a big difference, because otherwise, if you evolve stage by stage with your Hatena, you're having 3 cards in play. You're having 3 cards in play for each Hatterene. For each Hatterene that you're attacking with, you have 1 extra card in play. That means that's 1 less damage counter in your discard pile. So you're doing 1 less damage counter for each Hatterene you're playing. That's the main reason we're playing this card with our Zoroark. And we're also using our Crobat to draw more cards, as I said. Chinchino as well. We have 3 copies of Chinchino Minchino, 4 copies of each Zoroark Zoroark, 2 copies of Spiritomb, our secondary attacker, and we also have 4 copies of each Zubat Golbat, 3 copies of Crobat, 4 copies of each Hatterene and Hatterene, and also 1 Eldegoss and 4 Talonflame. Talonflame has a fast flight attack, 1 colorless energy cost. You get to use it on your first turn as well, going first. If you go first, you get to do it on your first turn as well. Otherwise, you get to attack it freely with that 1 colorless energy cost. Discard your hand and draw 6 cards into your hand. So we have that 1 Bird Keeper to switch into our Talonflame, and then use the Fast Flight as early on as our first turn. If we go second, we have our Scoop Up Net to retreat, and also to recycle our ability, Discreet Draw ability. We want to be using our Crobat. We want to be using Scoop Up Net to recycle the Crobat's ability. But also, we need to be thinking about not using too many Crobats. If we play too many Crobats on our bench, then we can't actually scoop it up and discard them. We need to be, we need to discard Crobat after scooping it up. We cannot actually, we can't actually put it back into the bench too many times after scooping up. Because if we do that, we're gonna end up with too many Pokemon cards in our on our bench and not in our discard pile. That means we can't actually do enough damage with our Dripping Grudge, which is the main strategy for this deck. We want to be doing as much damage as possible. So make sure you don't put too many times. Make sure after scooping up your Crobat, make sure you discard it unless you need to draw more cards. If you have no choice but to put a Zubat, because you need to draw more cards later on. If you have no choice but to do that, then do that because you need to. But, it's better not to. It's better to just use it once and then scoop up, dump it, and then, maybe put 2 Zubat to start with, and then you evolve 2 Crobats, and then after that scoop up both, and then discard them all. Otherwise this deck is not going to do much, because we only have we're playing only 40 copies of Pokemon cards in this deck, and we actually can't afford to have too many cards in play, because if we have them, for example, if we have like 15 Pokemon cards in play, because we are playing evolution cards, so it's very likely for us to have at least 10 Pokemon cards in play. Let's say we have 10 Pokemon cards in play on our bench and in our active spot, and like 3 Pokemon cards in our prize card. That means that's already 13. That's 13 minus 13. 40 minus 13 is 20. sorry, 27. And then if you have like 3 or 4 in your deck still, if you have 4, let's say if you have 3 Pokemon cards in your deck still undiscarded, you can't draw it out yet because we are drawing from the top card of our deck. We are not shuffling our deck. So if we draw the wrong cards from the top of our deck with our research, with our bird keeper, with our abilities, we are drawing one card at a time. If we draw the wrong cards, we can't actually discard the right cards. So that's the bad thing about this card. The bad thing about this deck is it relies a lot of it's very risky. It relies a lot on luck, but if you're lucky enough, you can actually have a very satisfying win, and you don't actually need to be too lucky because we are confining that luck, the luck criteria, the luck element, the element of luck. We are trying to confine it as much as possible with our Clara and also with Eldegoss and Ordinary Rod. So that allows us more flexibility to discard freely so that we get to retrieve those cards back if we need to later on in the game. So we don't need to worry too much about discarding energy cards or our evolution cards because we can retrieve them later if we need to. So also Chinchino is a very good attacker because it's a very good ability because we get to use it every turn as opposed to your Crobat. The reason I'm playing Crobat is because scooping it up, if we scoop it up, if we evolve it stage by stage, we not only get to draw cards, but we also get to scoop it up later and use a research to discard extra 3 cards into our discard pile. Dump extra 3 into our discard pile with a scoop up net and a research. So scoop up net, research, Crobat is the perfect combo in pair with your Dripping Grudge attack. So Dripping Grudge and Crobat works really well with Scoop Up Net and Research. So that is the main combo for this deck. And also we are playing 11 energy cards in this deck, 6 copies of special energies, 2 capture energy to bring out our basic Pokemon, 4 Aurora energy for the darkness cost for Spiritomb, and also 5 basic psychic energy to recycle, to retrieve with our Clara. Clara only lets you retrieve basic energy. That's why we need a lot of 5 basic energies. Only 4, as much as we can fit in, 4 Aurora energies and 2 captures. So 5 is a good number. It's actually better to have 6 basic energy, but 5 is good enough because you can actually use your Aurora for your Hatterene as well. So that's important to note that you, if you need to attach Aurora to your Hatterene or your Talonflame, you need to do it. You just have to, because there's nothing you can do about that. So that's all for this deck. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. If you find our videos interesting, entertaining, or fulfilling in any way, we will see you on the next one. This deck is called Spiteful Concoction. Tune in for the next episode for more cool new combos featuring new cards from Pokemon Celebrations, Evolving Skies, and on November 12th, there's going to be released, the new set is going to be released on November 12th. Fusion Strike, and we're going to be making new decks featuring new cards. I'm super excited about the new set, so hope you guys tune in for that. And until then, we're going to be making old decks as well. We're going to be featuring cards from all expansions as well and trying to make them strong in the standard format. So let's hope we get to find the perfect combo for the perfect deck and crush the meta with a rogue deck, because this channel is dedicated to building rogue decks and to play against the meta. We don't want to be playing a meta deck. We want to play against the meta, against the flow, and discover new ways to play the game, explore new territories, and be original with the game. Be original. Find your own personality. Express yourself in your own unique way, and be your own individual self. And shine in your own way. That is what we want to do with this game. So we want to be building rogue decks and finding combos that we can call our very own, and we can show it off as our own original deck. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. We'll see you on the next time, and have a nice day. Bye guys!